Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to be covering the Michael trailer. The trailer is just released today for the Michael Jackson biopic. To give you a bit of background on me, I am a die-hard Michael Jackson fan. I've adored him my whole life. The idea of a biopic has always been something that I've been so excited to see or wanted to see. I never knew how they could pull it off or how they could do justice to it because let's be real, his life was just incredible from such a young age all the way till the moment he died. So much material and content to cover from a career standpoint to a personal standpoint to everything that he did, his business, all of that. There's just so much you can talk about, and I don't know how they're going to go about achieving that with this film, but I'm going to break it down nonetheless, give you my thoughts on the trailer, and then talk about some of the things I'm excited about, but also some of the things that I have some concerns. So first up, the trailer knocked it out of the park. Amazing, incredible trailer. I mean, only just over a minute long, but really just sold the film then and there to 90% of people who know Michael Jackson at face value, know his music, know his songs, blah, blah, blah. They know a bit about him, and they know him as the icon, the king of pop. I think they're going to be 100% sold no matter what, just on this trailer alone. As for the diehards like me, what I will say is on a visual level, it looks stunning. It looks amazing. Jafar Jackson, who is Michael's nephew, who's going to be playing Michael himself, looks great in the role, just awesome. So everything just on a visual level, just from what we can see in the trailer, perfect. I like it. It knocked it out of the park, and it got the excitement going. Just the mix of the music, all of it was just hitting on all fronts. So as a trailer, I think it was fantastic. Now, let's talk a bit about the film and where I think it's going to go. And something that I've picked up on with the trailer itself and what they did show in the trailer, or rather what they didn't show. And I noticed this. They did not show anything, a single frame in this trailer that is beyond the bad era. So to give you context on that, who people don't know, the bad era for Michael Jackson takes place in the late 80s and basically concludes at the end of the 80s. So there is not a single shot from this film that takes place from the 1990s onwards. Now, they might be saving that for later or for a further trailer, whatever it might be. But my theory is because of the issues, for people who don't know, there were significant issues with the filming of this film. It went smoothly from the start to that they got everything done and wrapped and they thought they had a great film on their hands. And then a problem arose where from a legal standpoint, they were not allowed to use the name of one of Michael Jackson's accusers, which they had done for a significant portion of supposedly the last third of the film. What happened then? They had to go back and reshoot a lot of this film, particularly that last third portion. Now, there's been a lot of debate and kind of rumors as to what this film will look like in the end. There's been talks of a 3-hour, 45-minute cut. There's been talks of it turning it into a two-parter, something I have been a fan of and have always wanted. To me, the story of Michael Jackson should always be part one, the rise of Michael Jackson, part two, the fall of Michael Jackson. Because let's be real, as much as I'm a diehard fan, his life is very much split into those two. Just over the first half of it being nothing but success, and then that last 20 years or so was just mired by so much drama and issues and accusations and such. So look, the thing that I'm seeing here, the fact that they did not show anything after the 1990s, from 1990s onwards, tells me I think they are committing to a film that will end with basically the bad era, which, if I'm being honest, if you want to do justice to his career alone and you want to focus on the best parts of his career, they're all there. That's all up until the late 80s. There are amazing moments, don't get me wrong, iconic moments that happened in the 90s as well, but none of them compare to his run up all the way up until the end of the 80s. It was just iconic moment after iconic moment, album after album, all of that. So you can make an amazing Michael Jackson film that concludes at that point. It would be similar to Bohemian Rhapsody, who the same producers of that film are doing this film, where they ended that film with Live Aid, kind of that last real high point for Queen as a band. And so it'd be kind of similar. That Bad was really the end of his peak. So he hit the peak with Thriller and he rode the peak into Bad, and then as the bad era ended and he moved into the dangerous era in the 90s, that's when it started to drop off slightly each time until, he was never what he once was. But the bad era, he was absolutely still at his peak. And so there's an opportunity with this film, and I think I know what they're going to do if they do it, is that they will end it with the 1988 Grammys performance of Man in the Mirror. Now, I've heard another thing about this film is that the song Man in the Mirror is key on a thematic level to this film, about what they want to present, who was Michael Jackson, and how are they going to kind of unravel that and like characterize him. And I think they're going to use Man in the Mirror, from what I've heard, to really shape that, because that is a fantastic song, and that really speaks to who he was, a man who had his issues, his inner demons, but was trying to do good in the world and was trying to be the best man he could. But and he's trying to teach us all to look at the man in the mirror and change its ways. So I think that's where they're going to go from what I've seen. I think you would have seen more shots from the older MJ if they were going to contain that, but it looks like the film is being scaled down to only focus up until the late 80s. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a secret second part that they are in fact going to release. I don't think it's likely. I think they would have announced it at this point, unless they're kind of worried because part ones do have kind of a bad reputation. People don't like the idea that they're going to see a part one of a film. They want to always be knowing that what they're going to see is the whole picture. But maybe they'll sell it to us later on. I don't know. It's not looking like that, but if we're going to get a cut of this film that's 3 hours, 45 minutes, 4 hours, whatever it is, I'll be there to watch it. I don't know what the masses will think of that, whether the everyday person will tolerate, or we're going to show up for the theaters for a 3 hour, 45-minute film. That I don't know. I don't know if the average person will go do that. Again, I think this film will do gangbusters at the box office. I think it's going to be the biggest biopic of all time. It's going to cross the $1 billion mark. Michael transcends all cultures, all nationalities, everyone. This is a global film. It is going to, in Europe, he is massive. In Asia, he's massive. He's still one of, if not the biggest artist to this day in terms of record sales, in terms of listening minutes, in terms of his just overall popularity. He is as big as ever. And even despite being more than 15 years removed from his death. So look, I'm super excited for this film, but I am also concerned, and the area I haven't talked about yet that I am concerned about, like I said, there is so much to talk about, to cover. And because I am such a diehard fan, I know all of the touchstone moments of his career, and there's just no way you can capture that all. And so my concern is that, and there's a possibility that the trailer actually conveys this concern, is that they're going to focus so much on the music videos, on the concerts, getting all that action to see him dancing, singing, and all of that, that we're not going to get enough time to actually explore him on a character level, because I would love to see that happen. We've seen that in some other media and here and there. Even in This Is It, we got to see a bit of him behind the scenes, but this time to actually do a proper biopic and really focus on Michael, one of the most complex individuals of the 20th century. I mean, he was an anomaly. Like he was not from this earth in terms of who he was as a person. He had this whole world going on in his mind that most of us cannot visualize. But I would love to see the filmmakers really give it a shot and show us who Michael really was behind the stage, like when he's not performing for the masses, because we know 100% who he was. He was the king of pop, greatest entertainer who ever lived, but there was a whole other person who was a complete recluse, who was shy, and all of this that needs to be explored. And I'd love to see it be explored, to really get that. You'd really get that awesome dichotomy of just this absolute animal on stage versus this absolute shy and timid person off stage. So yeah, I'm concerned that they're going to lean way too much into the music, which will be awesome still, just on face value, just to see that recreated, but find time to weave in the actual character moments. And this could be an all-time film. I'm going to be there first day either way to watch this film, whatever it is. But yeah, I have concerns, but as it is right now, just from this trailer, I'm pumped. I can't wait. This is easily my most anticipated movie. It's of the next year and beyond. And it's been my most anticipated for the last few years. Been waiting eagerly for this to come out. I still, fingers crossed, hoping that there is some second parter that will be announced. But as it seems right now, it doesn't look like it. But if they, as I said, if they choose to confine it to the end of the bad era, I will be completely fine with that. You'll have more than enough touchstones. The early days with the Jackson 5, the breakthrough solo with Off the Wall album, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, then hitting the absolute peak with Thriller, and debuting the moonwalk, and then capping the film off with his famous performance of Man in the Mirror at the Grammys to really bring it home. That's an awesome story in itself, and it kind of lets us just appreciate the man, the artist, without having to get into the era of his life which was just mired in controversy, because that's a whole other film and story of itself, which I'd be fine to see. I'd be more than happy to see that. But if you really want to give just an awesome epic storytelling of who he was and his career, you can achieve that by finishing it at the late 80s. So that's my thoughts, guys, on the trailer. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you think with this film that's coming out. What do you expect to see? What do you think it will be? What it will do at the box office? All of it. I want to hear it all. I love this topic of conversation about Michael, because so many different opinions people have about it, and some people forget just how famous he was. So yeah, I want to hear them all. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.